It's week 2 of the NFL, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Seahawks, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Central District of Seattle. This crowd, as we've come, has battled with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
Carson will take the handoff out of the option play. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. From the gun, it's Carr. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Carr now to throw. Quick slant here to Smith. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. So opening drive, 3rd down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on 3rd down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed. But this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air. But no, incomplete.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game. But sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out. But if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that. But as soon as you curl it around the finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call that one every time.
The numbers a week ago for Cook. 25 carries, 137 yards, and a score.
But they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw here. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Darrell Taylor. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop it. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that one off the mark, a little late with a throw. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down. And this one is right through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Go, boys, go!
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
On 2nd and inches. Carr out to the right. He gets it to Lockett. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, it's Carson. Room to run past midfield. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Carr. And his throw is incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And it's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And now off to the races, down the right side, and they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the...
I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And now out comes Minnesota. Now a play fake here on first down. And he fires one incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
On second down now, it's Cook. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he
puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
10-3 our score after one here on EA Sports. Now it's 2nd and 9. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. As they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Carr to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense. Just flooded the field with defensive backs. Blanketed everyone. Took away all the passing angles. Thus, the incompletion.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves. Throwing now is Carr. He'll check that down to Carson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Carr to throw again. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to get this one down to Cook. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now it's Lockett. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started up in the Mile High City. Detroit on the road to take on Denver. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. DeAndre Swift with a rushing touchdown there. From there, we head through the Four Corners down to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And you can see there, it's the visiting LA Rams who have the lead in that one. Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Russell Wilson, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And despite the fact that they're looking up at a double-digit deficit at halftime, they were able to move the football through the air in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half. Both of these coaching staffs feverishly making their final plans for the second half. One of these 2 teams is going to get...
Left side, it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And they're going to speed things up here. They go play action here on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17. Back to throw. His throw incomplete.
You definitely would like to hit on that one because now you got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Now a pass hauled in downfield, and they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish an inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? They'll look to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Carr's throw there taken in by Smith. That catch good for only a couple. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And they'll get him down here at the 23.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he's got room. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 117 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the option, a handoff to Carson. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Now it's Carson. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Zerline's kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 15. And time, a huge factor. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. He's got a first down past the 30. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
Now back to throw. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. Dancing to his left. And that's complete to Brown. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he will not get what he needed as he stopped short of the first down at around the 22. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's complete. It's Cook. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. He's going to let it fly. Oh, wide open, complete. The end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
Yeah, normally when you talk about tight ends, you immediately begin talking about them rumbling down the field, but to me, he was pretty well gliding downfield there. Very athletic for a big man, and he takes this one all the way to pay dirt.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats. Extra point right down the middle as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. pass is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. Good bounce-back win. They take the knee, can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.